Hi everyone, so I am going to show you today how to make this bunny scoodie for a baby. It has a button in the front. I think it's a little bit safer that way. And well, it's quite easy to make. There's a few harder parts, but I will get you through this. And these are the ears. And you can make it the size that you need it for your baby. We will have to do some measuring, just a tiny little bit, and then we will get the scoodie to fit that measurement. So we are gonna get started in just 1 second. So we need some measurements. We put the measuring tape under the baby's head and bring it quite close to one eye and around the head, and we see what is the difference, what is the measurement from one eye to the other. It's about 32 centimeters for this doll, and the other one is around the head, under the chin, would be about 44 centimeters in my case. If you use inches, just have it in inches. You just need to measure it once in a while to see if it's gonna fit the baby. But I'm using centimeters, and these are the only two measurements that you need. Yes, by the way, if you have the baby with you, you don't really need this one around the head. You will just be able to put on the hood and see if it fits. So the first thing that we need is to know the length of our starting chain. Now our starting chain will be this length here. This is my starting chain. So what we do is we divide the eye to eye measurement, which is 32 centimeters in my case. I divide it by 2, so I get 16. If you use inches, just have it in inches, it doesn't matter. And so I have 16, and then I just take 1 centimeter away. If you use inches, that would be about a half an inch. And we will know our starting chain because we're going to do some increases at the end of the starting chain. So we are going to get that length back. So my starting chain would be 15 centimeters long. I'm going to take my yarn, going to do a slip knot, and I'm going to start chaining for the length of 15 centimeters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 21 and 22. So I'm just gonna leave it, maybe it's one too much. So I have my 15 centimeters for the starting chain. Now, row 1, we will add 1 chain. So, and then we're gonna do half double crochets into the 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, the 3rd chain from the hook. We yarn over, we put our hook into the chain, we pull out the yarn, we have 3 loops, we yarn over, and we pull through all 3 loops. And we count. So the chain 2 in the front counts as one half double crochet. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and I stop counting at the very last chain because we're gonna do increases in that one. So I had 20, I think. Let me count that back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this is the number that I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have the same number of half double crochets on the other side of the chain. I just want to make sure that it will be the same on one and the other side, so it's not going to be crooked. Now in the very last chain we're gonna do 6 half double crochets. Insert and just do 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all in that very last chain. Gonna pull a little bit on the tail, and now we're gonna do the same. In my case it is 20 half double crochets on the other side of the chain. We still have those loops here left over from the last from the other side of the chain, so we are gonna use those. So I should have 20, so the same amount as I had in the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I should have 2 more. So 1 and 1 more at the very, so you see this was the chain, so I'm just gonna do that last one into that chain on the bottom. So I have 20, 20, and I have 6 for the increases on the back. Now row 2, we're gonna do increases in the very last 3. So 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna do 2 half double crochets into each of these 3. Now we're gonna chain 1 and we are gonna turn. We will be doing half double crochets again. Now the only thing is that we will be doing them into the back loop only. So if you look into your stitch, you can see the front loop, which is closer to you, and the back loop, which is further away. So we will be only crocheting into the back loop the whole scoodie. So we yarn over, we use the stitch straight after the chain 1, we put the hook catching only the back loop, we pull out the yarn, and we do a half double crochet. We find the next one, do a half double crochet, and then the next one, and we will do that until we get to this part here where we will do some increases. I got down to the place where I have to do my 3 increases. Now make sure, sometimes when you do half double crochets, it looks like you have the stitches here straight on top, but it actually if you turn it a bit, you'll see they are down a bit lower. So we do 2 half double crochets into the back loop for 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. 2 half double crochets 1 time, 2 half double crochets second time, and 2 half double crochets the third time. And now we're just gonna keep doing 1 half double crochet until we get to the very end of this row. I got to the end of row 2 and I have 1 more stitch left. See, this was our chain 2 here. I'm just gonna have to do a half double crochet into it. We're not gonna do the first and the last into the back loop. We will do it normally, so just so it has a bit more, it will hold on better. So from now on, all the rows will start and end exactly the same way. So they will start with 1 chain and turn. Then we're gonna do half double crochets 1 into each stitch, back loop only. All the way around. And we will do that until we get our length that we need. That will easily go around the face. And I'm not going to show you any more of this. I'm just going to meet you here and show you where the last stitch is. I am at the end of this row and I have 1 more stitch left. It's a bit hard to see. This is our chain 1 that we did in the very beginning. And we are going to do just a full-on half double crochet through both loops in the very end. It's easy to miss that stitch, but just if it doesn't look straight, then it means that there's another one in there that we need to do. And then again, chain 1, turn, and back loops only. And it's always a good idea to count them at some point and just make sure that you have the same amount until you get to the bottom. So just so it is all straight and we don't miss any of the stitches. So we're gonna have to keep doing that, like I said, until we get our length as much as we need. And then we're gonna start on the bottom. Now we will start on the neck part of the scoodie, and I'm gonna add 4 extra stitches to go under the face, like this. So I'm gonna have 4 here and 4 here. I think that this is the most difficult part, as on the other side we will have to do some chainless half double crochets, which I will try to explain as much as I can, and I will show another way if you will not be able to do the way I'm gonna show you now. So we start with, we take our hood and we're gonna add 4 chains, 1 chain for every stitch. Now if you think that 4 is not enough for you, just make more. So I'm gonna do 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna add an extra one. Now this will be the 2 chains that I will count as 1 half double crochet. I'm gonna turn it around, I'm gonna yarn over, I'm gonna skip the 1, 2 chains, and I'm gonna do a half double crochet into the 3rd chain. So I count the chain 2 in the front as 1 half double crochet. So I have 1, 2, 3, and the 4 that I wanted to have under the face. And now I'm gonna just go to the other side doing half double crochets into the back loop until I get to the other corner where we'll be doing the other side, the extra 4 on the other side. I got to the other side and I have one stitch left. Now first I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. If you will not be able to do the other way, it's just that you will have a bit extra work doing it this way, but it's a bit easier. So you do a slip knot on the same color yarn and you just connect it into the very last stitch, and then you chain as many chains as you need for the stitches, for the amount of stitches that you're doing under the chin. So I do 4, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you do the 5th, an extra one, because this will, when you cut the yarn and you pull on it, the last chain will disappear, and you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 that you can now do the half double crochets over. But I'm gonna show you the other way as well. I just like to have a bit less work. So once you get to the very last stitch, just do your last half double crochet, and now we will create the chain as we go along. So you yarn over, put your hook into the very last stitch again, grab the yarn from the other side and pull it out. We have 3 loops. Now you catch the yarn and you pull that only through the very first loop, like this. And now you have created a chain that we do not have on the bottom. And then you just pull through all loops. So that's one created. Yarn over. I'm gonna put the hook. Now if you look under, it's a bit hard to see. We have created that chain. We're gonna put the hook into that chain, into both loops, under that chain, like this. We're gonna pull out the yarn. We're gonna have 3 loops. We're gonna yarn over, pull only through the first loop, and the second time we pull through all loops. We created the second half double crochet. I need 2 more. Turn over, and this is my chain that I have created. I put my hook in through both loops, catch yarn, pull it out, pull out through one loop, and then through all the rest of the loops. And one more time, I yarn over, I find the chain that I just created, I go through both loops, I pull out, I pull out through one, and I pull out through all loops, like that. We will have to start doing some increases from this row to the end until we have the neck piece as long as we want. So I'm gonna do another 4 rows, and I need to put some extra stitches over the shoulder. So what I do is I put my hood together like this. I kind of try to make sure that it's straight, and then I look at the first corner that I have created by putting it this way, and I'm gonna find 4 stitches as close here as possible, and I'm gonna do increases in them. So I need 4, and I'm gonna leave 1 stitch in between. So I have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 more this way. And I do exactly the same on the other side. It doesn't have to be exact. It just needs that a bit of extra space over the shoulder, so it's not so the neck part is not gonna be it will be lying on the shoulders. I lost my 2 stitch markers. Oh, there. It's lying a bit nicer on the baby. So I have my 4, and there will be 2 more increases. Now I'm going to tell you where. We will do 2 increases on the second stitch of each row and on the second last stitch of the row. That will just make the front lie a bit nicer and not stretch out the corners to the sides. You will see everything in just a moment. So next we're gonna chain 1, and we're gonna do exactly the same as we did before, into the back loops only. So I did the first, and I'm gonna do 2 half double crochets in the second stitch, and now I'm gonna do 1 half double crochet until I get to my markers. So in the back loops, like this, and I have my first marker. I take it out, I do 2 half double crochets in here, so 1 and 2, and I'm going to mark the stitch under the hook. I'm gonna do 2 half double crochets in the next row in the same space. Oh, I took my 1 half double crochet in between, and then 2 again, so 1 and 2. I'm gonna mark this one, and I'm going to have 1 in between, and I'm gonna have 2, I have 1 in between, and I have the fourth time the 2 half double crochets, and I'm gonna mark that, and I'm just gonna go with 1 half double crochet around. Then I get to my other markers, and I'm gonna do exactly the same as I did here, 2 half double crochets into the stitches that I have marked, and I will see you here, and we will do 1 more increase at the very end. I got to the end of this row, so I have my chain 2 at the very end and 1 stitch before that. I'm gonna do 2 half double crochets into the second last one, and I'm gonna do 1 half double crochet into the chain 2 that were in the very beginning. Now in row 3 of the neck part, I'm gonna do my buttonhole. You can decide which side you want it on. I want it on the, let me see, I want it on the side under my left hand. Now you can do it on the other side if you want. You just need, I'm just gonna show you how to do that. So I'm gonna chain 1, I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna do 1 half double crochet into the first, I'm gonna do 2 half double crochets into the second stitch, then I'm gonna do a chain 1, I'm gonna skip 1, and I'm just gonna do 1 half double crochet after that. It's always a good idea to find your button and see if it fits well. It does. And at this point, I'm just gonna do 1 half double crochet until I get to my stitch markers. I will do 2 half double crochets in every marked stitch. I'm gonna do 1 half double crochet until I get to my other markers. It's gonna be 2. You see, we're gonna have 2 half double crochets, 1, 1, 2, and it's gonna be bigger spaces in between our markers as we do more rows. So I'm gonna do 5 rows till I'm finished with the neck part. So I have 1, 2, and I just started my row number 3, and I'm going to meet you at the end of row 5, and we are gonna do the crochet around. So just keep increasing in the second last stitch, and here where the markers are, and I'm gonna see you right here. Now I forgot to tell you what to do with the chain 1 that we left for the buttonhole. So we're gonna do a half double crochet into the stitch before, and when we get to the chain 1, we're just gonna do 1 half double crochet into the around the chain, and then I'm not gonna forget about the increase in the second last stitch and the last stitch. By the way, if you feel, so this is my row 4, I have 1 more row left. If you feel that your sides where you're doing the increases are wide enough, you can leave the last row without doing any increases, not in the front, not over the shoulders. It's just that some yarn is a bit more likely to start ruffling than the others. My one is not doing any ruffles at the moment, but I kind of feel that it's so soft that I might just leave the last row without any increasing. So here's our buttonhole, and I will do the last row sorry, without any increases. You can do if you feel that you need them. So at this point, before you cut the yarn, you should make sure, if you can, that it fits and it is lying nicely around the baby. You see, the increases that we did, they're just coming onto the shoulders. So now I did chain 1, and I'm gonna cut the yarn, and I'm just gonna pull out the tail, and we're gonna start with the edging around the face now. So, oh, I lost my hook. So we're gonna start doing the edging from the side of our right hand. So this is my right hand, and we're gonna start doing that from this corner. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave a bit more tail for that one, because we can sew it on using this piece of yarn. And I'm gonna do a slip knot. I'm gonna find the corner, I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna chain 2. Now I'm going to do 3 rows of the edge. I'm gonna do 1 row of double crochet, and then 2 rows of front and back post double crochets. So I'm gonna yarn over, I'm gonna leave this tail, I'm gonna use it later, and I'm just gonna find a nice spot, and I'm gonna do a double crochet. I'm gonna leave a bit of space in between them because I want the edge to lie closer to the face, so it doesn't have a gap in between the hat and the baby. So I'm just gonna leave it a little bit bigger. You won't be able to see them after you're gonna do the front and back post double crochets. So I'm just gonna do half double crochets all the way around until I get to the other side, other corner. So I got down to the other corner here, and now I'm gonna start doing the front and back post double crochets. So I'm gonna chain 2, I'm gonna turn around, and so the front post double crochet is, so you yarn over, you go in through the stitches, you leave the first one alone now, and you go around, so you go in under it and out again. So you yarn over and pull out the yarn. You're gonna pull through 2 and pull through 2. The back post is you yarn over, you go from under the stitch, go up, over, and out again into the other side. You catch the yarn, you pull it out, and you pull through 2 and pull through 2. So then front post, double crochet, and back post, double crochet. Front post, double crochet, and back post, double crochet. And we will keep doing that until we get to the other side again. At the end of this row, see, I have my 1 double crochet left and the chain 2 that I did in the very beginning. So I'm gonna do front post. You might have a back post left here, it doesn't matter, it's a front post for me. And I'm gonna do a double crochet into the chain and chain 2 and the last row. Now if you feel that you need more rows, you can do more. This is the last one for me. I'm gonna yarn over, and in previous row this was a front post, double crochet. Now when I turn over, it will be a back post for me. So if it's in the back, we do a back post, double crochet on it. If it's in the front like this one, we do a front post, double crochet, and a back post, double crochet, and a front post. And it's exactly the same as it was in the row before. We just need to do this until we get to the other side of our scoodie. At the end of this row, so I did my last post, double crochet, and I am going to do 1 more double crochet just into the chain here, so I have a straight edge. And now this is enough for me. I'm going to chain 1, I'm gonna cut the yarn, I'm gonna leave a little bit of a tail, that will help me with the sewing, and I'm just gonna pull it out. Now we can sew the edge on straight away. If you roll it back like this and you find this corner, I have the yarn here, so I have started with this one. I'm just going to weave it until I get to the corner, like this. I'm gonna put it down like this, see? And I'm going just to stitch it onto this stitch, just so it's not falling into the face, and it's just gonna hold on better. Just 2 little stitches. I bring the needle into the middle of the scoodie, and I'm just gonna hide it in between the stitches. You can make a knot if you want. I'm pretty quite sure that it's not gonna run off or gonna come out. So like this, just gonna cut it off, and I'm gonna do exactly the same with the other side. This, I'm just gonna find a good place for it to be stitched onto. I'm gonna bring it into the inside of the scoodie or a hoodie or a hood, and I'm just gonna hide it in between the stitches. Just like that. I'm gonna cut it off. Now, if you feel that it might be falling onto the baby's face, you might want to give it a couple of stitches on the top as well. At this point, I just want to hide the tails, and I'm going to sew in my button, and we will be able to start with the ears. And I'm going to see you in just a second. So, a quick measure. So this is how it looks on my, well, I would like to say baby, but it's a doll. See, it's nice and it fits very, very well. So next is the ears. I already have one made, and like I said, I'm using dusky pink for the middle of it. So I'm just gonna do a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Now, if you want them longer, you can chain more. The only difference is you're gonna have a different number of single crochets in the beginning, and we will only use the last 5 chains to do the increase for the ear. So now we're gonna start with single crochet. So we're gonna skip 1 chain, and we're gonna do single crochets, and we're gonna count them until we get to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches to the end, and we're gonna count how many single crochets we have, just in case you have a different number of chains. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains left. Now we will do 4 half double crochets, 1 in each chain. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Into the last chain, we're gonna do 6 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm gonna pull in a bit that yarn. After we did our 6, we're gonna do half double crochets on the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm gonna do my single crochets, whatever number you had. I had 16 until I get down to the bottom. So 1, 2, and I just keep going. I just need to make sure that it's 16. For the second row of the ear, we're gonna chain 1. I'm gonna turn, and now we're gonna do the same amount of single crochets that we did before. So I have 16, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. 4 half double crochets, one in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we are going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, that's one time. 1, 2, second time. 1, 2, third time. 4, 5, and 6. We did our increase at the end of the year. Now I have my 4 half double crochets, 1 into each of the next 4 stitches. So 4 half double crochets. And I'm left with my 16 single crochets that I will do off the camera, and I will come back and I will show you how to do the last row and change your yarn. At the end of row 2 of the ear, I just made 1 chain. I'm gonna cut the yarn. Remember, if you can do it in one color. And I'm gonna attach my cream yarn. Just a slip knot in, I pull it out, I chain 1, and I turn around. I'm gonna crochet over the tails so I don't have to sew them in. So I'm gonna do a single crochet into the same stitch, and I do exactly the same all my 16 single crochets. And I'm gonna meet you after I do my 16 single crochets done. Now 4 half double crochets, 1 in every of the next 4 stitches. So 4 half double crochets. And now if you lay down the ear, just find the very top stitch where you want the tip to be. So I think this is the stitch for me. And now we're gonna start doing the increases until we get to the stitch marker. So we start with 1 half double crochet, and then it's 2 half double crochets into the next one. Then it is 1 half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets. And we're going to have to do this 6 times. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So I have 2 times. This is the third time. So 1 half double crochet and then 2 half double crochets. Now, wherever you have marked that you want to have the tip of your ear, if it could be the second of the 2 half double crochets, instead of doing a half double crochet in that stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. We are going to chain 1. We're going to put the hook in, back in through that stitch like this. You see, I have like 3 loops now. You're going to catch the yarn on the other side and you're going to do a slip stitch like this. And this is how you get your tip. And then we're going to carry on. So I have 1, 2, 3 increases. I count this as 1 instead of a half double crochet. This just looks different. So I need to do 2 half double crochets now. 1, 2. This is the 4th increase. My increase number 5 is 1 half double crochet and then 2 half double crochets. Then I have my last increase, 1 half double crochet and 2 half double crochets. Like this. And now towards the end, it's 4 half double crochets, 1 in the next 4 stitches, and I only have my 16 single crochets left, which I'm gonna do off the camera, and then I'm gonna show you how to do one row here. When you come back to the end of the ear, you do the last single crochet. You're gonna do a chain 1, you're gonna do a single crochet into the same kind of a stitch, only going around this way. You're gonna do 1 single crochet until you get to the other side of the ear, like this. Gonna do chain 1, and you're gonna do a slip stitch into the first stitch, like that. I'm gonna chain 1, I'm gonna cut the yarn, I'm gonna leave a longer tail because I go on the ear with the same tail. No, but before I start sewing it on, I am going to do this. So I take both corners, whichever side I want to be on the top. I take both corners and I just sew them together, like that. And then this is what I have left. You can sew it on lying on the side, but I will be sewing it on like this. I'm gonna find a good spot for it, somewhere on the top where I like it, and I'm just gonna stitch it onto. It's a bit hard to show it on camera for me, so I am going to do it off the camera. I'm pretty sure that you are able to do a bit of sewing yourselves. And this is the end result. It's all done now. The button is in, the ears are sewn on, a bit crooked, just as I like it, and I think it looks really, really cute. And well, this is it. Do like it if you do. If you don't, you can write a comment. If there's something that you did not understand, you can always ask me, and I will say goodbye to you. Bye now.